You know how we always talk about zodiac signs as if they're cute personality types? Like, oh, she's a Leo, so she loves attention, or he's a Pisces, he's emotional. But here's a different take. What if we talked about the signs that are, well, dangerous? Not in a criminal or violent way, but in a smarter, deeper, more psychological sense. Today we're counting down the 6 most dangerous zodiac signs, ranked not by how loud they are, but by how intelligent and manipulative they can be. This is about quiet power, strategic minds, people who know how to bend situations without breaking a sweat. Let's get into it. Number 6, Gemini. The dual thinker who sees all angles. Geminis are fascinating. They're the kind of people who can sit in a room, absorb everything, and be 5 conversations ahead of you before you even realize it. What makes them dangerous? Their flexibility. They can shape-shift mentally, emotionally, even socially to match whoever they need to be in that moment. And here's the scary part. You'll probably never catch them doing it. A Gemini doesn't just know how to argue, they know how to disarm you with charm. One moment, they're laughing with you, the next, they're guiding you toward a decision they planted in your head 20 minutes ago. They don't twist your arm, they twist your thoughts. Think about someone like Donald Trump. Say what you will about his politics, but his ability to dominate attention, shift narratives, and control the mood of a room is textbook Gemini behavior. He flips from one persona to another, creating confusion and loyalty at the same time. And on the other side of the spectrum, you have someone like John F. Kennedy, a Gemini who didn't need force to influence. His speeches weren't just inspiring, they were crafted to connect, to shift emotion, and to move people without making it obvious. That's the Gemini gift, knowing what you want to hear before you even know it yourself. Number 5, Libra, the gentle manipulator in the room. Libras are all about balance, right? That's what they tell you. But here's the thing, nobody talks about how they use that balance like a chessboard. Libras can be some of the most calculated people you'll ever meet. The difference is they do it with a smile. They don't come at you with intensity. Instead, they create a peaceful space, make you feel safe, and then tilt the scale ever so slightly in their favor. They're not the ones making the loudest decisions, but they're often the ones quietly influencing the decision maker. Libras are incredibly perceptive. They pick up on body language, tone changes, unspoken tensions, and they use that knowledge subtly but effectively. Look at Margaret Thatcher. The Iron Lady wasn't shouting to be heard. She used diplomacy, cold logic, and charisma and balance. She disarmed opponents with poise and precision. Her decisions weren't impulsive. They were measured and strategic, which is what makes Libras so powerful. Libras want harmony, sure, but it's often on their terms, and that's where the danger lies. They'll convince you it was your idea all along. Number 4, Aries, the brilliant disruptor. Aries gets a bad rap for being impulsive or hot-headed, but the truth is, when Aries channels their energy the right way, they become something else entirely, a focused, strategic force of nature. The kind of person who walks into a room and doesn't need to announce anything, you just feel them take control. The danger in Aries isn't chaos, it's calculated aggression. They know how to start movements, how to disrupt systems, how to force change in places where everyone else is still hesitating. And they don't wait for permission, they just move. Take Thomas Jefferson, for example, an Aries who wasn't just bold, he was revolutionary. He wrote ideas that shook the foundations of old world thinking. He didn't just follow trends, he created them. Aries are thinkers and doers, and that's what makes them scary smart. Or look at Marlon Brando, another Aries, who reinvented what it meant to be a male actor. He didn't play roles, he transformed them. He wasn't just talented, he was unpredictable. That's classic Aries intelligence, turning instinct into innovation. Number 3, Aquarius. The mind you'll never see coming Aquarius is the wild card. You never quite know what they're thinking, and they like it that way. They don't wear their thoughts on their sleeves. They're internal, quiet, even aloof. But inside that calm shell, there's a storm of calculation. Aquarians think in layers. They're not interested in emotional power plays. They're interested in systems, structures, and how to bend them. They can detach from situations, observe from a distance, and make decisions that seem cold, but are often brilliant. And because they're not emotionally invested in being liked, they make moves no one else has the nerve to make. Look at Charles Darwin, a quiet revolutionary. He didn't go around trying to pick fights. He just dropped ideas that fundamentally rewired how we see ourselves. His Aquarius mind didn't follow. It created. And then there's Oprah Winfrey. Yes, the warm TV personality, but at her core, an Aquarius visionary. She understood what people needed on a soul level and built an empire by delivering it. That's not just empathy. That's emotional intelligence fused with strategy. Number 2, Capricorn. The patient power player. Capricorns don't rush. They don't overreact. They don't need to dominate a room because they're already planning to own the whole building. Their minds are like clocks, quiet, disciplined, and always ticking toward a long-term goal. What makes them dangerous is their ability to play the long game. You think you're winning the moment? Capricorns already moved on to winning the decade. They manipulate with structure, with consistency, with an almost unnerving level of focus. Martin Luther King Jr. was a Capricorn. His words were poetic, yes, but his plans were precise. He wasn't reacting to injustice. He was designing a movement, step by step, speech by speech. Then you have Jeff Bezos, another Capricorn. He didn't make headlines early on. He quietly built Amazon into an empire brick by brick. There was no drama, just relentless progress. That's Capricorn intelligence at work, cold, clear, and absolutely committed. Number 1, Scorpio. The genius in the shadows. Scorpios are not loud. They don't need to be. Their minds are always 2 steps ahead, but they never show their hand, and that's what makes them the most dangerous of all. Scorpios don't manipulate in a loud, obvious way. They study people. They sense emotional patterns. They store information. And when the time comes, they strike. Not out of rage, but out of intention. They're emotional, yes, but it's not about feelings. It's about control through emotional intelligence. They can cry with you, laugh with you, hold your hand, and still be calculating what they'll do next. Take Bill Gates, soft-spoken, nerdy exterior, right? But beneath that calm voice is one of the most calculating business minds in history. He didn't scream to get ahead. He built, acquired, adjusted, and suddenly he was everywhere. Or go back further to Marie Antoinette, a Scorpio with charm, beauty, and quiet influence. She didn't just live in luxury, she maneuvered court politics with finesse, until the tide turned, of course. But make no mistake, Scorpios don't crave power for attention, they crave it for mastery. So what does it really mean to be dangerous? It means having the intellect to see the whole board and the emotional control to play the game slowly, precisely, and quietly. These 6 signs aren't dangerous because they hurt people. They're dangerous because they understand people and they know how to use that knowledge. Maybe you're one of them, or maybe someone close to you is. Either way, now you know who really holds the power.